My name's Paul English. I'm from Swansea in South Wales. It's where I sailed on the Sir Winston Churchill for the first time when I was 22, which is early 1979. Sir Winston Churchill first. I sailed on her most often actually, and she was coming in to do a week's maintenance in Swansea, and in the docks was my Venture Scout unit, which I was running, and I was asked by one of the people who was on the local committee if we could help out with finding some space to lay out sails for repair. So we helped arrange that in the old fish market, and I provided the labour when they came in to offload the sails from the Venture Scouts that I worked with, and chatted to the bosun and various different people, and at the end of the week of maintenance they were setting up for the next trip, no short of a bosun's mate. So I was asked if I'd like to do the trip, so I agreed. It was something I'd planned to do previously, and then various things worked against it, so I thought it'd be right, I'll actually achieve my ambition of sailing on board the ship now. I joined on the Saturday for a trip that was joining on the Sunday, and by the Sunday morning a watch leader had failed to turn up, so I was made in a watch leader. So I did my first trip on Sir Winston Churchill as a watch leader, not having sailed before. It's a bit of a steep learning curve.
Carry on.
Yeah, I was 22, 23-ish, but I was already a scout leader and a Venture Scout leader.
Right.
So I had a bit of experience with organising people, and the basic thing that a watch leader does is actually organise people. My sailing experience was it was a Venture Sea Scout unit, so I had sailing experience in odd-shaped, odd-rigged boats from them. So that's what it was all about, really. It was, and it's organising. If you make a little rota out of what people are doing, get them to the right place at the right time, you can succeed as a watch leader. If you know a bit about the sailing, that helps a lot. And if you knew a reasonable amount about the sailing, then the job's actually easy. It's just, you know, a slightly bigger rig than you used to.
Yeah. So how old were you on that voyage?
That was, I think I must have been 22.
Okay.
Thinking about which year it was, yes, yeah, it would have been 22.
Right.
Which is quite old to start. And I'd sailed since I was 12, and had experience of some bigger ship stuff as well. So it wasn't a huge shock. I was just thrilled to be there, so I just, you know, threw myself into it and rushed about. And as I said, other things were happening as well, which was good, because some later trips that I did, where the conditions on the trip were easier, it was more difficult to control the crew that you had. Whereas, because there were external pressures, you know, and people could actually see, well, if we don't do this, we could be in a lot of trouble here. Then it was, you know, yeah, let's get this done now. And it was, yeah, everybody pitched in. Everybody worked really hard. It was probably a better exercise in team building and getting people to work together by having a few little things go wrong than it would have been if it was, you know, just a nice, calm, sunny trip. Yeah, it's probably the best bit of being a watch leader actually is if you get people that you might find that people being reticent when they start off to come forward and join in, or some people just don't want to join in, because we used to get quite a lot of people who were sent rather than volunteered to come. Yeah, and the change in attitude was good. As I say, the first trips, because of the pressures, it was better. You saw a better change. And in fact, some of the people who responded their best out of the crew on that particular trip, we had 4 young Glaswegian kids that had been sent along, and the change in them was remarkable, because all they wanted to do when they came on board to start off with was disappear to have a smoke. And by the time we got towards the end of the trip, a bit of an odd response, but there was a guy who'd been sent from the Civil Service Commission as part of their rapid acceleration program. We used to write reports at the end of a trip, quite detailed reports, and
So
we actually ended up. He was in the same watch with these Glaswegians, and for captain's inspection on the last day, these Glaswegians had pitched in really hard and had everything shining, and they caught the guy lying down in his bunk when he was meant to be cleaning the area we were cleaning. So they physically forced him to clean up the heads he was meant to be cleaning, covering him in bleach and using it to scrub the deck. But they wanted to have the best area on the ship. You know, they wanted the award for the best area, and there was somebody in the team not pulling his weight, and they were really very aggrieved about that. Miraculous change in them, and I've seen it with all sorts of people much later on.